Hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today we are going to discuss another very important research topic, which is cryptography. So as you can see that there are a lot of figures here, and cryptography, obviously we are going to convert one form of information into other form of information, and for this purpose we are going to use multiple concepts like the text, keys, etc. Then the public domain cryptography means the public type of cryptography or the private key cryptography, and there are different forms of other things like means some key terms like encrypted, decrypted, hash codes, etc. And most of you, if you are familiar with some sort of information security or network science related things, then obviously you must have come through all these sort of things. Then what is cryptanalysis, etc. Okay, so when we are going to say that cryptography is a very important research topic, then firstly we should understand that what is cryptography. So cryptography, or popularly also known as cryptology, is a sort of word which means in ancient Greek literature, if we say, then they usually say that according to cryptography, it means the hidden or the secret information. And in this way means whenever you are trying to write something, whenever you are trying to communicate something secretly, then you are going to use these sort of techniques. And it is not very new that you are going to use it in today's world. It's quite old. Even in ancient eras, means it used to be the part of secret communication among two different nations, or between the two different kings, or sort of multiple kind of kings or the kings. Now point is that whenever we are going to say that cryptography, then we should say that it is the digital cryptography, because nowadays we are going to use the concept of cryptography in the form of digital computers or the sort of digital communication. So when the concept of cryptography comes to present world, then what sort of things come into picture? So some of the things means the some of the issues that are pretty obvious. So those include the secure communication, obviously, because we don't want our information to get open, and that's why we maintain some sort of secret medium to communicate the things, and that is the sole motive of cryptography. Additionally, we need some sort of confidentiality, integrity, authentication, as well as the non-repudiation. Confidentiality means if your message should not get out, means though somebody captured your message or the messenger, still your data is not leaked. So that is confidentiality. Data integrity means sort of the data should be integral in nature, means the some of the part of the data is leaked, or some of the part of data is broken or kind of noised out. So in this way the information or the message is deteriorated. That is not acceptable. And third thing is authentication, means the sender of the information is the person who is claiming to be. Okay. And fourth one, that non-repudiation, means the receiver can't deny that I haven't received the data or sort of thing. So in this way, sort of multiple things are related. And similarly, in present era, means in digital era, in 21st century, if we discuss, then there are so many use cases like the digital payments, digital currencies, even the computer passwords and military communications, etc. Multiple things are there, and including the electronic commerce, digital smart cities. Everything is going to rely on the concept of secure communication, and ultimately we are going to use cryptography to make it possible. Okay, so when we say that is it the present means the 21st century time only? No, it is not like that. You can see heavy use cases of cryptography even in wars. Also in World War I, World War II, there were so many different theories those were roaming around, and that's where there so many people who were working and using the concept of cryptography to have one side of victory or sort of thing. Now coming to the modern cryptography, there are multiple things. Those are related like the mathematical theories or the role of algorithms. Then what are the computational complexity and the sort of things? Those are supposed to be analyzed in advance, because you do know that if you are using very lightweight cryptography, then obviously it might get decoded, and obviously it is not useful, because ultimately brute force can break any sort of thing that is lightweighted. And in this way you are supposed to maintain average weight at least, so that the opponent couldn't easily break it out. Now coming to that, there are so many things, means though you have developed, then what are the other related issues? So sort of multiple issues like the technological as well as the legal issues are involved here. Now some people might be surprised that what are the legal issues. So if you have developed like any technology, you may have some sort of digital copyrights or sort of things. So that's why the digital media, the use of your technology, means the cryptography or sort of algorithm that you have developed, so that particular algorithms use, is it in public domain or its uses that you can have some sort of rules for that. Now coming to the definition that we have discussed, that what was means sort of what are the classical cryptography means. In older time, kings or the queens used to have some sort of secret communication and those sort of things. Now in modern cryptography also means you have so many technological related things like the private key cryptography, public key cryptography, symmetric, asymmetric, as you say, and then the cryptographic primitives. You have the whole lot of systems in the form of crypto systems. Then when we say cyber security, again the digital word means the cyber word in using some sort of security mechanisms. Then there are what are the legal issues, etc. So many things are there. Now when we say that multiple aspects are there and you can go and explore the world of cryptography, then what are the kind of bodies or the funding agency involved in this particular domain? Then there are multiple bodies and funding agencies involved, especially including the defense sector, including the economic sectors. And in this way, because of finance as well as safety and security, two things are very important, and in this way security is being used. But anyway, information is critical, and that's why everybody wants their information to be secure, and that's why when we say that there is a right to privacy. So in this way, again, the communication parties means so many social sites, chatting and the messengers, so many applications, they use some sort of information security mechanism, and in this way they help to maintain the security of their users. So when we say that what are the funding bodies available, so there are so many tech companies, there are so many law firms, there are so many economic firms, and there are so many public organizations which are ready to fund you and your projects if you are giving sole kind of security framework or kind of relevant security solutions to their firms. Additionally, if you have some sort of proposal in terms of some research paper or something like that, then also you can go and look for the relevant funding at national or international level. Okay, in any nation, there are some institutions related to medicine, related to security, related to defense, and related to the common public health and the safety security services. So you may go and have a check and look on the some of the grant allocation or something like that. So some of the names, as I am telling you, that national institutes on the aging, blood, allergical sciences, then the defense forces, including the Air Force, Army, Navy, etc. Then some of the European Commissions, then science foundations, etc. And multiple states, administration boards, etc. also provide the kind of support for the publication, etc. So if you are having sort of some project based idea, then you can go, and because time to time people do ask for the related projects for their particular needs, and if you have sort of any idea or the proper project proposal at your side, then you can go and check whether your project idea is able to cope up their needs or not. Okay, now coming to that, what are the related topics where you can go and have a research? So obviously, first thing that cryptanalysis means to do effectively analyze the potential of a particular system in terms of security. Then encryption means to convert some information into unintelligible form, means some secret form. Then the decryption means decoding the unintelligible or the sort of encrypted data in plain back into the plain form. And then sort of authentication, I have already discussed these terms, so I'm not discussing again. But what are the related techniques? So there are multiple techniques. Every field is supposed to get related with other fields. So blockchain comes into picture, steganography come into picture, means hiding information in images form. Then password management, trust management. Then the sort of in the field of Bitcoin, so much uses of information security is there. Then how do you maintain the secret sharing system? Then how do you have some sort of cryptographic protocol? Then what is sort of a digital market watermarking and sort of techniques? Again, watermarking, then how to make it, how to prevent it from breaking out and sort of things. Then biometrics, specifically in the field of medical or sort of systems, means patient data is very critical. So you need to maintain every sort of detail because there are so many sensitive details related to the patients, and you need to maintain those sort of things. Then the data encryption standards, so what are the particular standards being used on your network? Are they potentially sufficient to maintain the security or not? Sort of multiple sort of analysis you can perform. Now coming that when there are so many things, and then what sort of institutions are involved in the research? There are multiple institutions which are actively doing their research in this particular domain. And when you have the sort of analysis on these sort of institutions, then you will get to know that how many different authors of these institutes are actively doing the research, and you will have a active voluntary participation or the kind of collaborative participation to have the research at peer level. So some of these include the University of California system, then the Beijing University of Posts and Telecommunication, Nanyang Technological University, Tsinghua University, then IBM from Industrial Environment, then the University of Electronics Science and Technology of China, and the University of Waterloo, One University, State University of New York, etc. Even so many Indian universities are working in the field of information security, network security, cryptanalysis, cryptography, etc. So point is that multiple, it is not that you are working in cryptography, then you will not touch the domain of information security. At some point, multiple domains are related to each other. So you might be working in an intersection level or some sort of level which is kind of hybrid. So don't worry, multiple things are related, and if you are working in a hybrid domain, there is not a bad thing. It is a very good thing because your application domain gets wider. Okay, now when we are saying that these many things are available, multiple institutes and authors are working, and they are actively using the concept of cryptography to maintain the digital era more secure. Then what are the statistics in terms of means researchers? So more than 180,000 researchers have been consistently exploring the different aspects of cryptography, cryptanalysis, crypto systems, etc. And almost every country, because in every country computers is there, secure communication they do need from their administrative point of view, for their defense forces, etc. And every sort of communication need to be secure, because ultimately you don't want your communication to get leaked and reach to your opponents. Okay, now when we say that what are the major sort of countries, so China, USA, and even in India, because we are digitally making very fast progress, especially after the UPI introduction in the field of economics and the e-payments, we have been way ahead than many of the other countries. Now coming to the kind of funding, so people do say, means not a proclaimed statement, but the 15 to 20 billion grants have been in process, and these grants have been from multiple organizations around the world. And when you are interested in publications, obviously you need to be familiar with some sort of journals. So some of the related journals do include, because there are multiple security and communication related journals, and some of these include security and communication networks, multimedia tools and applications, then the cryptologia, journal of physics conference series, applied mechanics and materials, then the computers and security, electronic letters, IEEE transactions on information forensics and security. Then you do have the information sciences, wireless personal communications, IEEE transactions on information theory, IEEE transaction on automatic control, and you have sensors, MDPI sensors, etc. So multiple things, multiple domains, multiple subtopics you may have in accordance with the cryptography or the cryptanalysis that you are going to perform or you have interest in. And then you have multiple related research journals also. So if you are not part of some well-established team or a peer group, then you can start your research as independent researcher. And this particular series of research topic and domain we have started just to make the fresh researchers to get familiar with some of the key terms or the key domains or the key things that you should have in mind before starting your research. Okay, so that's why we just focus on the basic things. Additionally, you may have multiple publishers, including the IEEE, Springer, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, Hindawi, IOP Publishing, Under Science, Oxford University Press, etc. Okay, and when we say that multiple journals, multiple publishers are there, what are the current outputs? So let me tell you some of the very recently accepted articles. So in International Journal of Autonomous and Adaptive Communication System, they have accepted a work in 2023 in the form of early access titled Security Key Distribution Method of Wireless Sensor Network based on DB-Hop algorithm. Okay. Then in International Journal of Cloud Computing, a hybrid encryption for secure data duplication in cloud is accepted as early access. Then ACM Computing Survey is available in 2023 in the form of early access titled Privacy Preserving Reputation Systems based on blockchain and other cryptographic building blocks. It's a survey. Then the other journal, that is Toxicon. It includes the modulation of the cholinergic pathway induced by skin secretion by Philomedissa Rengri Bollinger. Quite different keywords, means if I pronounce true, please pardon me. Then in IEEE transactions on vehicular technology, they include a 2022 article, Intelligent Reflecting Surface Aided Secure Communication on NOMA System. Then the IEICE transactions on information and systems include the JPEG image stegnolysis, means it's the analysis of steganography, means the steganographed images. Then using weight allocation for block evaluation. Okay, so in this way you can see that lot more journals, means as I told you, in addition to the journals that I discussed with you, multiple others are there. Additionally, multiple domains of focus are there, including the medical, defense, financial, industrial, etc. So you can go and have a look of your research field. Might be means you can start searching the things according to your interest, and your interest might start with a particular application area, with a particular research area, with a particular technology, etc. So thanks for watching this video. Please let me know what you didn't like through your comments, and how we can improve our future video analysis. Thanks for watching again. Happy learning.